Good morning, shiny internet strangers. It's an oddity for me. As you see, we're going live. We're on the thing. Um, I actually it it's the next day. It's like 10:41 local, and yeah, shockingly enough, I only did one episode yesterday. I know that is it's so odd for me. I I typically do a lot more, obviously. Um, that's just my style to do multiple episodes in a day, right? Like this is typically all I stream. Like sometimes, yeah, I do the odd one off. Um, but but typically it's just this. But yesterday man, I got into the farming. I really did. And I'll walk around and I'll show you all that. Um, but I really got into the farming, folks. Oh my God. I was, I put on some music. It was not copyright free music, right? So I couldn't have streamed it anyway. And I'm just singing along to my tunes and like, yeah, I'm rocking out. And I don't know. I lost myself to the joy of just chopping out trees and hitting rocks, man. And and it was a blast. So yeah, yesterday was just it was a day for me. Today I woke up. Well, and so for back on yesterday, I did mean to come back. Good Lord, did it get cold? And so I wound up just cuddling under my blankets, taking a nap. And then it was late, and I was like, "Oh, I should get in a stream." And I looked over; it was already 2200 local. And I was like, "Oh man, I'm going to bed." So I took my meds and I went to bed. Woke up today, my water had actually frozen over, and I was like, "Yeah, that's a cold day. That's a really good indicator. Like if your water freezes, that's cold." Um, but before my hands hurt too much, I want to get an episode in. So let's at least catch you all up on what we did. We'll start outside and we'll work our way in. Um, as you can see, some of the fertilizer is down. I got some crops done. I only did this one, that one, and that one down the hill. So I only did 3 fields, right? We didn't have a ton of seeds, okay? So I didn't get a ton of stuff planted. But as you can see, I'm wearing new armor, and that's because we really needed vegetable oil, and we didn't have like any. I was like, man, I'm not gonna be able to make it. And I have the iron whip and the Scythian bow. I'm the only one with a Scythian bow. The guys don't have it because it takes horns, and I only had 4 horns. So I was like, well, I can make exactly one. That's it. Um, I don't have a ton of this because it takes iron. So I've only been made, as you can see, 3 sets. That's all. Everybody else still rocking the old stuff. And I've not shifted down the sets. Like these guys are still wearing like the level 11 stuff. Level 21 heavy and a level 31 heavy. So there's the variations in it. You can see the tiers, if you will. I didn't even intend that. It just kind of worked out that way. But you can see it. Kind of a nice like upgrade look. I'm a fan of this armor. I really like the way it looks. I've always dug it. It feels very I don't know, very cool to me. I really dig it. I did a lot of gathering. I did a lot of crafting. So I'm up to 38. I'm still creeping along. You know, as sure as shooting ain't going up fast. I got this stuff made, not placed. I wanted to do that with you guys so you could see it, right? I didn't want to do that without you. Didn't get any new stations. Uh, these I had already made, but I placed them, right? Because I did the farming. So ground up some stuff, cooked some stuff. Yeah, you can see we didn't get a lot of the stuff down. That's all the rice when we ground it up that we had. Um, the woe 2, that's how much we have left over. We did get the little bit of pea porridge, which we'll use to try and kind of ninja into the desert, get just enough brimstone that we can make the initial ice. I mean, that's later down the road. Honestly, this will probably all spoil before we get around to it. Let's be honest. Um, but we at least got it, and we started to get rotten food, which is good. We need it for fertilizer, so I'm happy with that. Um, yeah, I think iron is the shortage. We got these made and placed, right? And yeah, iron bars or ingots, that's our shortage. We just they're so expensive. They're it's sad to me that I have more animal fat than the iron. Um, I did go find this and this, and I was just nibble along the outside, but it takes, forever. And that's it. Other than that, yeah. Now, here's what I did though. Check this out. Look at all this clay. I mean, I have stacks now of clay. That's what I did. I got my first I mean, two, right? Like it doesn't have a great drop rate because I'm still just hitting tier 2 trees. But I got 2 pieces. Yay! I mean, it's terrible, let's be honest, but it can drop. And I hit just a ton of the things. Um, I made, I've got plenty of flagstone, right? I made 300. I used some over there. I've got, boom, plenty of planks. I made 300. I put 100 over there. So, like I said, I just did a ton of farming, folks. Just, I farmed, I farmed, I farmed. And it was going to be boring. Like you sitting here watching me do that, oh my God, it would have just been boring as hell. Um, we've got this. Like, look how much low qual. I didn't make this yet. Now one thing. So this bothers me. Now I haven't tweaked it yet, but I might. Okay, I'm not sure yet, but I am debating it. Now in previous seasons, this has always bothered me. Okay, so this one restore 14 points of hit point, 14 points of HP every second for 30 seconds. So what's that total? I mean, well, that's not terrible. What's my total at? Oh, no, see, that is. So I would need 2.5 of those, and I'm only at level 38. Now, the reason I think that's terrible is if we look at talents and skills and we look at physique, okay? Increase max hit point by 53%. My physique hasn't even hit 450, you know? As it goes up, my max hit points goes up. Also, there are talents in here that'll raise it, I think, right? No, that's stamina. I think one of these is actual hit point. Hang on, I gotta look, because now I don't remember. Yeah, increase character's max hit point. And then this, 50%. So if you get this skill up to increase max hit point, and then you take this you can wind up with a lot of hit points. And in my mind, the medicine just doesn't keep up. Like it drives me up the wall. And maybe I'm thinking this game should be more like a RPG where, oh, I take my healing potion and I get my heal. And it's not tuned for that. That could be a thing, right? So maybe I should just suck it up and play it for what it is and not what I want it to be. But again, I play by myself. Like Chris is, she plays when she plays, but it's just us. So I can tweak it any way I want. So normally what I do is I alter the rate of healing. So I increase the percentage so that it heals more. So those things aren't useless, or it doesn't feel useless to me. Um, so I might do that. I don't know. I obviously I haven't yet. It's still at vanilla. Um, but we'll see. I'm still debating that. Um, for now, I just die a lot. That's okay, right? I just let myself die. But I made this. So this is the next level, the next torture rack. And I got one made. And these are the ones you're familiar with. And then there was a quest to make these foundations. And I made one of these. And I wanted to get them down and see about placing them and starting that thing over here. Now, I don't know where I'm going to place them or anything else, but yeah, we did that for a reason. Are these up? No. And as you can see, I used my blessings, right, at some point yesterday. Wait, is this tribute paid for next week? Okay, good. Um, so I wanted to see about, I don't know, where could I put it? We had when we lived up here, we had one set down here, right? So now that we live here, I want to, I don't know, maybe set one down here kind of thing. Because as you know, the shorter the distance you walk with the guys, the better, because they do wake up. Like I had that happen, and God, that's annoying. So I wanted to look at a spot, see if I could find a good one kind of thing. Because there are, as you can see, like good NPCs, right, that we would like to knock out. And we have the skill for level 35s. Now we'd like to get here to do 55s, but we already have 35s. So we want to find, now we can't do, let me do this to illustrate it. I don't think I have yet. Yeah, see, building forbidden to place buildings on official roads. And I like that. Uh, This was something the devs implemented after a while. It wasn't in the very first version of the game. Initially, people could build on the roads, and so on official servers, it was just a nightmare. People were, buttheads as humans are, and so the devs made it so you couldn't build on official roads, and that was a good change. I felt, especially in a public game, right? Um, so we have to go off now. I don't know. Like our house is over there, so maybe we should go on that side. Let's go over here. So we're going to keep this out just to see like where it starts that, hey, you can build here kind of thing. Oh, see, so we could already build like right here. And it's not far, right? That's that's reasonable, but it's enough that you're a random, I don't know you. You could still drive by, right? You could still use the road. And that's nice. That's, I feel, a very reasonable thing for developers to do, let people use the public roads. Or in this case, I think it's like the Empire Road, it's like the backstory that it's like the King's Road or the Emperor's Road, and he wants all of his minions and servants to be able to use it. See, this might be a spot. I don't know. Like we're gonna keep going around and look, I'm not as familiar with this camp, obviously, as the other one. The other one's lower level. I've spent more time near it. So I'm going to scout this and see. I know I saw the dragon border over there farther. So let's go around to where I saw them. I don't know where they like normally spawn or typically spawn, if it's always the same. But I'm very interested in capturing a level 30 dragon. Yeah, that guy there. I'm very interested in trying to capture him. And if that's his regular spawn spot, I would kind of like to set up my, hey, here's where I go to knock out and tame guys, in a spot where I could get them. Like, I'd like to do it there because it's flat, but I think that'd probably be too close, and I don't want to, in the middle of taming, have guys walk up and shoot me with crossbows. That's not ideal. But maybe there's a flat spot that it's doable. I don't know. He's probably in the middle, let's be honest. He's probably in the dead center, and it's just gonna be hard to think. So I think kind of anywhere, and it's gonna be like with the pirates, where I had to go in. Okay, there's a bunch of guys. I only want these two. I have to kill everybody else, and then walk out with my prize. And I think it's probably going to wind up being something like that. So it kind of doesn't matter where I set up. So if that's the case, let's set it up as close to my base as possible. So if I die, I don't have as long a walk. Like, let's be honest, at some point we're going to screw up. I make mistakes. I am human. So let's kind of account for that and make it so when I do make a mistake, I have a shorter travel distance to recover. That's probably a good idea, right? Hey, look, I broke it. Okay, cool. Well, it's not a catastrophic failure and I can recover. That seems wise. Um, yeah, I think this area is not super far, like 124. That's not far. I don't know about their patrol patterns. So I think what we might do is clear some of all of this stuff. Oh, see, so that guy patrols at least within range. That's nice. Yeah, I think we clear all of this out and see how the terrain looks, kind of thing, and find a flat-ish. It doesn't look like it's going to be super flat. And there's the road. So, yeah, I think right around here is going to be our best bet. Wherever it's close to flat. Do I have a sickle? I do. Oh, that's the other thing. I made the bronze finally. So I'm not using the stone anymore. So go team. Well, let's turn on B. All right, so let's get this cleared so we can see what the actual heck is going on. All right. So yeah, yesterday it was good, folks. Sorry I only streamed one episode. But man, I had fun. Listened to some country, just I zoned the heck out. Sang along. Oh, I enjoy it. Like I can't sing. I sing terribly. But I don't care. I don't sing because I think I have a good singing voice or anything else. I sing because I enjoy it, you know? So I'm just like I'm off key and I'm out of tune and I just don't care. And I'm loud as hell. I'm just like, yeah, da, 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 and it's just fun. I sang along with Sinatra. That one has always been and will always be special to me. I sing Sinatra to my wife. Oh, so Frank will always have a special place because it makes my wife happy. So yeah, that's what I did yesterday. And yeah, you guys definitely didn't need to be here for that. So, all right, let's clear this. Is that the tree? No, still more trees. Man, that jungle bush is thick. That's very realistic. It's wetter in real life jungles. Oh, see, and I'm already overweight. So let's run up just to our flag. Our it's not a flag anymore. It's the what's it? That guild marker. And deposit the weight and get back there before this stuff has a chance to regen. We'll just run up, drop off, go back down, and get this stuff cleared. So we can figure out where we're putting this. I may have to make stairs too. That's a possibility. Oh man, yeah, it's real cold. I am having a hard time clicking, folks. That is, the hands hurt like holy hell. Um, Now normally when it's this cold, what I do is I pull my keyboard and my mouse under my blankets with me. And then obviously my hands aren't cold, right? They're under blankets, so they stay warm. But if I do that, I can't see what buttons to push. And yes, when I was in high school, we took a typing class, and it was on actual typewriters. I am that old. It wasn't a keyboarding class. Um, Gotta remember that paper they made us use. It was terrible. It was this gray, like just awful stuff. So we know guys can come up to here. That's good to know. It means we need to be back here. So the thing should be here. Um, and then now and everywhere in between, I don't know where the keys are. Like I still look when I type. I have never mastered typing. So switching from typewriter to computer, I don't know where all the keys are. I need to see them to type the thing. When I type a letter or something, I know what I want to say. I look down at my keyboard. I type the whole thing. I look up and I check for spelling mistakes. Um, is that how you're supposed to type? No, absolutely not. But that's how I type, and I'm not changing. So because of that, I tend to I only play very specific games, right? Like for a while I played Albion Online because it only has like you could play the whole game with just a mouse. Well, if you can play it with just a mouse, then you don't really need to see what buttons you're pushing on a keyboard now, do you? So it was a good choice. Um, I played Empyrean because I thought, oh, I've played, literal thousands of hours with this. It'll be okay. Well, turns out it's not because I failed to realize there are some buttons that you're going to want to push, like O. And I didn't think about it at the time, but when you're flying along and your ship gets unrighted, you can press O to kind of force it to true level. And I can't ever find O. And I was like, oh, nope, can't play this one. So one of the things I started doing that I finally hit on, was like, well, this sucks. I wanna play video games, but my hands hurt too much to be in the air, right? It's just too cold. They can't be in the open air. They need blankets on top of them. So what do I do? So I started playing a bunch of turn-based, right? Things like Civ 5, for example. And I was like, okay, this works fine. Anything that has a pause button, right? And I can take an infinite amount of time to determine what I'm doing. Because then it doesn't matter how long it takes me, right? And though it may not be the most efficient to play those games with just a mouse, you can, right? Like Civ 5, and I prefer it too, is a lot better with the shortcuts on the keyboard. But you can do it just with using the mouse. Good God, we're already full again. But at least we can see what's going on here. Can I get this stuff placed here before I go back? My hands are really hurting, folks. Like, you have no idea. Like, they're solid red. Like, it hurts. All right, let's 9. Where are we gonna want to place this? Okay, that's too close, so we can't go really that way. So we're gonna need to like here and here and here and here maybe. So like you, 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 and then you. And I think it places like this. So we want you here. And then we want you here. That'll stop it all from decaying. And then we kind of want you guys just here. I kind of like this tiered going up the mountain. That's kind of cool because it's still in a straight line, right? And then I can walk right through here on this platform. And we could put like a bed or a campfire, what have you here. So yeah, this is going to wind up being our new taming thing, right? And it's pretty close. And we'll knock out the guys and we'll walk up. So yeah, that's going to be a thing. And now I can clear out more because I don't know what's going to come back. Um, but now that we've dropped that, we've lost a little weight, so I can hit a couple more things. Now some of this may go back. I think just the foundations will stop the random bits from respawning. I don't think these or the flag will. So I want to clear it all and see in what area it comes back, right? Just to see what happens kind of thing. Oh, Alaska just went live with Sons of the Forest. For those of you that don't know, I highly recommend watching Alaska Mountaineer. Now he's on Twitch, and I hate Twitch, but I think he is a good enough streamer to maybe suffer through Twitch. Also, he does put his stuff on YouTube after, so if you're like me and you really hate Twitch, you can just watch it on YouTube later, which is what I do. Because God, I hate Twitch. I'm not going there. And that's why one of the things I like about him, do I catch his live streams? No, because they're on Twitch, but I do get to go see it later when it's on YouTube because he takes that into consideration. And I like that he's a considerate person. and puts it on both platforms. So those of us who don't do Twitch still get to see it. And I appreciate that. I really do. All right, so let's go up here. Let's deposit this. Yeah, I don't know what Sons of the Forest is. Well, I vaguely do. I think it's a survival thing. Um, because I think the forest is a survival. I never played it because I think it's horror survival. And I have 7 days for that. Let's deposit seeds. Deposit seeds. Put that. We throw you in there. Let's do flowers. Let's do. Oh, wait. No, I gotta do you in there. Let's do for the grinder. Come on. I swear to God I'm clicking it. It just isn't doing a thing. Let's put salt in there. Let's go to this first one. Come on, button. A, A, A. Let's let our minion do it and get some XP. That's fine. Grass. Do I have, you know what? Let's put it over here temporarily. Put this up here. It's not like we won't use grass, right? Wander attire fragment. Okay. You're gonna go in here for now. I really need to get some storage. Let's go grab the other batch out. That might be done cooking by then. Hell, we might have more from here at the top. Oh, we should eat. Good Lord, our food was low. That's not ideal. Yeah, see, we were low. Yeah, the hands hurt, folks. They really hurt. No, oh, wait, we're leaving that, right? Yeah, because that, and that are for, okay. It's for paying maintenance costs. But, no matter what, I want to get an episode out. Now, I don't know if this is a game, the one we're playing now, the, Myth, is a game I could do under the blankets. Curious to try, because so far, I've really just been hitting WASD and Shift. I could pull that off, and E, right? Like, I know where those are. That doesn't seem difficult. And escape. Escape is good enough, right? Like, you know where escape is. You can manage escape. So yeah, I don't know. A, and then over here for the wood and the sap. Resin, sorry. Resin, not sap, whatever. And then the grass goes out here. You get a tiny amount of XP by putting the guys on. Mostly I'm doing it to level them. I'm not really concerned with getting the XP. I just want PL1 to get a little more XP. Like they're up to 30, you know? My PLs are at 30s. Well, I don't know about this one. Yeah, see 24 for PL5. But that's the one that replaced the guy that died. Sadly, we lost him. Happens. Let's grab this, 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 this over here. Grab this. At least we have a bunch more food to throw in our thing for feeding our minions. I like that we're kind of ahead of the, oh my God, we're out of food, right? I appreciate being at that stage where you don't feel like, oh my God, my guys are going to starve. Everybody's going to die. What do I do? I like having a bowl full of food. that I don't feel like I'm just racing around like, ah, I can't make it. I'm losing the game. I can't keep up. Like I feel like I've got this, right? Like this isn't a big deal. I can hang. We're good to go. And I like that stage of the game where you finally feel like you're starting to get on top of things and you're not constantly behind and like, oh, the world's ending, the sky is falling. Yeah, I appreciate it. Put our horses in there. We put saddles and armor on everybody. I also like that this is always on without burning fuel. It just feels more, I guess, alive. Just sit and stare at it sometimes. But yeah, it's cool. So, oh God, we need iron. We have to go just farm so much. God, that is such a painful thing to do. What about our talents? Do we have any points we can spend? No, one-handed. It's so slow to climb without the expertise in it. Shield, no. Polearm, no. Two-hand, no. No, no. Alrighty. Light, no. Seek, mining, lumbering, hunting, planting, building, armor. Yay! Medicine. I need to go level medicine. It's stuck at 450 forever, right? Command, drill. Oh, finally. Reduce warrior food. It goes up so slow, right? Because you have to lead them to gain XP. So it goes up, but it's one of those just steady, gonna take forever things. Just like this one, you know? Like it goes up, but it's an endless grind to get it there. Tame, renown, alright. Oh, can we do maybe a no bit? No, definitely not. We're nowhere near that one, are we? Well, worth a look. All right. What are we thinking? Oh, yeah. I'm looking down at this. Do 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 do. Could take over this and put my guys on the tilling and have that done, but I don't have great planters yet, so I do need to put down a well. That's a thing. Put a guy on it. A little worried about random jaguars and wolves showing up and killing my guy though. That's that's a bit of a scary thing. I want to knock this down, see if it comes back. So let's do that. We didn't. We got to test these and see which ones regrow, which ones don't. So we'll take them all to the road. That seems I'm not worried about the other side of the road, but I definitely want to go to the road on my side. Um, that seems far enough away. Definitely want to knock down these right next to our thing. See, you know, take out the stones, that kind of thing. And if we come down and the only thing left on the ground are these bits, we'll pick them up then. Well, we may pick them up now, I don't know. Do, 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 do. Let's, 3. Let's take out this tree. We'll take out this one. Makes me happy to see that dragon border comes this close, like he patrols all the way up here. That is awesome. That means we have a chance of, and he patrols away, so we can clear it out, wait for just him to patrol up, knock him out, drag him up. Like, Yeah, that's an actual shot that we have at getting him. So that's really good stuff. Because Dragon Ball, like, I haven't shown you guys that. It's so much harder than all the others. Like, it's gonna suck, and we may lose our guys doing it. Like, there's a good chance that 130 can kill us and all our people by themselves. So we're gonna have to very carefully go in and set it up and take our time, and it's just gonna be a whole thing. There's a very good chance it just ends horribly badly, because that's the way it is. But I think it's worth it getting them if you can. So we're gonna try. So it's nice to see that they patrol in such a manner to give you a chance, or at least at this camp. So we will definitely give that a shot. But for now, let's do this. Let's get it all set up and potentially ready. I did make the better knockout sticks too. Since I finally got enough vegetable oil, I was able to make better leather. So I was able to make the kind of the tier 2 knockout stick. Um, so yeah, but I'm working on getting the iron armor for my guys so we can live through the attempt, right? If we're going to be knocking out higher tier guys, I'd like my guys to have the higher tier armor so they take less damage when they try and knock them out and stand there and swing at them, kind of thing. Right? I definitely don't want them being like, oh, you're wearing tissue paper. Hey, go knock out that big tough guy. This will end well, I swear. It's no problem. You'll be fine. No, you won't. You're going to die. So you wait, you farm, you get the good armor, then you try. Because otherwise you're asking for failure. And why would you do that to your guys? Do you hate your minions? What kind of boss are you? Why do you hate your minions? We're full again. Let's go drop. See, this is why you have a cart and horse, right? Because you know this stuff weighs a ton, but it's cold and I'm not thinking straight. Like, hey, why didn't you bring your horse and cart, dummy? I don't know. I wasn't thinking about it. I'm not thinking about it a lot. Honestly, I'm thinking about how much my hands hurt. That's what I'm thinking about. Because they really do, folks. Good God. I don't know. Is anybody out there in the wide universe interested in seeing me stream? I don't know, maybe something that isn't this for the times when it hurts too much to play this and my hands are stuck under the blankets. And I don't know how often it'd be. And I doubt it would be a series. It'd probably be some one-off silliness kind of deal, right? Where it's just like, hey, today we hurt. We're gonna do blah blah blah, and I don't know what it would be, and it might be random, and it might be different every time. I have like 1,000 something games on Steam, so I definitely have a lot to choose from. That is, yeah, there's a lot of options. That's for damn sure. Oh, also, see, now that we have this up, right? We have the 100% more seeds when collecting low qual and chance to get 3 times seeds when low qual. We are not out of seeds. Like, seeds are no longer an issue, at least for low qual, right? The common and the other, yeah, that's a problem. But the low qual, we're no longer an issue. We can do planting now. So that's nice. Let's turn Joe Bob back on and cook some more locusts. A And let's go deposit some more grass. We're saving the grass because we have made, and I don't know where I put it. Seriously, where did I put it? Did I put them in here? I was storing the stuff in here. Yeah, I've made a rabbit pen, but I haven't gone and trapped a rabbit. I made a fox pen. I made an animal cage. I made another mining hut. I made a well. Like I've made these things. I haven't placed these things. I'm like preparing for next steps kind of thing, but I haven't done them. Oh, that's another thing I did. I made myself the advanced rein, right? So sweet. I can go get a better horse. Um, yeah, I did a fair number of things. All right, let's close you. Grab the locust. Let's put those there. But that's why we're getting grass, because when we get rabbits, I mean, we don't want them to starve, you know? They eat a bunch of food. So I want to have a bunch of grass built up so that when I do finally, and I think I'll have a second floor before I place the pens, because I want to get a second floor, get a nice ramp, because at some point I will have a cage on a cart, and when I get boars and wolves and deer and all that and bring it back, I'm going to need to be able to drive up next to my pen. And I'm thinking I want all my pens on the second floor. So then I need an appropriate door and ramp and access and all that. So I gotta build it first and plan it and see if I can make it in a way I like. And potentially a third and a fourth and however many more floors I plan on going. And I don't know. I'm still kind of working it out in my head and thinking about it. Um, but yeah, that's one of the things I'm thinking. So yeah, and I'm also thinking eventually in this game you get 3 of these guild boundary markers, right? That guild territory, the big blue thing. Now you have to level up your guild. It becomes expensive to maintain, etc., etc. But you can potentially have 3. So in my mind, you could either have one giant base. Well, I'm a solo. There's one of me. I I can't imagine needing that, right? Or I could have 3 small but separate bases. So maybe a beginner, middle, high tier kind of thing. Now the levels, if you will, are kind of 10 to 11, kind of 11 to like 21, and then up to 31 and to 41, and then up here up to like 51, and then down here up to 60, give or take. Like there's a bunch of wiggle room, and it's closer to like it'll follow a river or a road or some other feature. And I'm not looking at the whole map and yada yada, but it's something like that, right? Now, in my mind, I want to try for something cool, right? And not here, but like live on an island with the cool lake around me, something like that, right? And not this one because that's too low an area. But some of the things I know is the miasma has resources that I might want. Um, this is a nice big flat spot. That's kind of cool. Uh, this lake, this lake both has fish that I might want. Um, the desert, hard to live in because it's hot, but has a bunch of resources I want. So maybe there. Um, so yeah, there's a ton of things, and I don't know, and we're talking future, right? Like I'm not at the point where I could even cope with the kind of weather effects kind of thing, because that's tab, no, you, I think it's building here, right? So 44 is the earliest. Because can I make ice? Sure. I need the saltpeter, which is I think it's you get in the desert, which is why I make the soup, I dart in, I get some, and I run away. But to actually deal with it, I need these, right? The no. Oh, where is it? Is it this one? So this is the portable. You make a wagon and you put either this and then you can go into the snow, okay? You put this and you can go into the miasma, or you put this and you can go into the desert, right? But this one needs the kaolin clay, which you get in the desert. This one same, this one same, right? Um, and then this is the portable one that makes a small area. But then there's a base version, and I thought it was these. Maybe this one puts out the area for ice. I don't know. Again, I haven't done this stuff. So this one protects against miasma. Drive out the miasma. Is it seriously two against miasma? And this one cold. So maybe this one is prevents heat. I I don't know. Yeah, make ice in the ice container to reduce heat around you. Okay, so this one is, yeah, is heat. So in theory, you could do the desert first at level 34, which I am. But I don't know. Which would make sense because you get the stuff to make all of it in the desert. So the desert should be before the snow, right? The desert gets the kaolin clay, and so the desert should be before the snow and the miasma, because arguably the miasma and the snow are higher level areas than the desert. So, okay, yeah, kind of logical. I can see that. But I don't know where I want to live. Like, I've been to some areas that were really pretty. I was up, oh, let me find the damn thing. It was might have been on this river, might have been on this river, may have been somewhere along here. Uh, Here maybe? I don't know. There was a bend in a river, and there was a slope down behind it, and you just stood there at the edge of the river. And let me tell you, folks, it was so gorgeous and peaceful and calm. And you stood on like the shore and you looked out across the river and you watched the water kind of wind down around and flow past you. And I was like, this this would be a good spot to build a base. Like, oh my God, it's so pretty. But do I build a spot that's just pretty? Like, is that an okay thing? And I don't know, right? So I think one of the things I have to do is I don't know, pardon me, where all of these are, right? Like I know where some are. as you can tell from watching my slot, like I'm fairly familiar with these low level areas. Although obviously I get some of them wrong. Like I'm like, oh, it's over here, and it's nowhere near where I thought it was. So I clearly need to do some exploring on the map. So that's a thing that has to happen. So I think maybe coming up there's going to be some ride around days where I just go for a gallop and find stuff because I don't know. I don't know where things are. I don't know. And how do you determine where you should live if you it's the same advice I gave Chris. I think you should ride around the map and find stuff and then figure out where you want to live. And yeah, that advice is applicable to me too. I would take my own advice because how do I tell where to be? Now, the only reason I mentioned like this space is that's Zunfish, and I know it's a resource, right? And if it's only in these two locations, that makes those locations useful. Um, but I still have to figure out what other resources, because some things can eventually be done in your base, and I think fish is actually maybe one of them. Now, yes, I have to hit 60. That's nowhere near soon, but I can plan for it. But some things are in a fixed location, right? Like a mine. I can't move the mine. I can't generate iron outside of the mine. I mean, I can kind of with a mine, but I have to find it. I have to level up a lot. Well, skill up a lot, which is again different from level, and then place my own and put my own minion on it, that kind of thing. So doable, but a pain. Um, so yeah, I think, yeah, we're at the point where we got to go for a ride. And then maybe, if I'm lucky while I'm out, because I have done this to the point, where is it? I've got this. I can do two more. So I have two slots for horses, right? So maybe I try and get a good horse, because these are all pretty terrible. They're all very low level, very not great stats. Um, so maybe I take one of my low quality out, ride around, and while I'm scouting, I mean, I will try very hard not to get it killed, but if it happens, it happens. That's what two of mine are. They're backup horses, right? And then while I'm out, maybe I try and find a good horse, right? One with better stamina and speed. Because a fast horse would make all the difference. I'd be able to get away from stuff. I would be able to find all these question marks faster. Um, it'd have more carry weight. I'd actually be able to dart in, get some resources, and dart out, kind of thing. Because the way the heat, the cold, the miasma work is you go into an area and you kind of start. It's not damaging your health; it's damaging your resistance per se. And so your protection for each one starts going down, right? And then after that hits zero, you'll start taking damage. But it takes a little bit, right? So you can dart in. And that's why I made that porridge. When you eat that porridge in the hut, it adds to your heat protection. And it's, oh God, I don't remember. I think it's like 10 or 12 points. 14 points. And it's just an instant, like, it gives you the food, but it's just boom, you get 14 points of heat protection. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. So you can just make a ton of this and just chug that and be okay. And it gives you time to do some mining. So if you bring a cart, you can get a fair amount. So that's my plan, is to dart in, get the saltpeter, and dart out, and then I can make the actual wagon with the ice, with the hey, you can live here, and then I can get the Cowlin clay and all that. Because I only need, if we look at this, no, sorry, wrong one. You Like that doesn't need any, right? It needs the steel ingots, which needs a little bit of the brimstone or whatever. And then this needs a little bit of clay. So if I got like 100 clay, I'd be good. If I got like 100 brimstone, I'd be good. So if I can dart in to the area that I shouldn't really be, get that, and then like if I got like 100, 100, 100, saltpeter, brimstone, and Callan clay, and then left, then I could come back with a wagon and a cart mounted ice container and ice in it and my minions, and then I could take my time. I could farm up a real amount. I could put it in a wagon and I could leave with it. So it's dart in, get the little bit, and obviously I have time, right? This is 45. I'm not 45. I'm nowhere near it. I'm like 38. That's a long way away. And then I could farm as much as I wanted, right? So you just dart in, get that initial, get the hell out, and then go back in prepared and be like, all right, now I can hang. Now I'm good. Now you brought down the thunder. Um, so yeah, that's kind of my plan. And yeah, I think I can hang because I can follow the river and then follow this river. And there's some spots along the river that, like up here, if I remember, you can kind of dart off, and there's not a ton of enemies, and there's a decent amount of clay, and you farm it back in the river, farm it back in the river, farm it back in the river, farm this side back in the river, this side back in the river, da 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 da. So yeah, and then when I was done to get out, rather than go all the way down, what I did was I shot across here and went down this one. And then that also got me all the discoveries because I went up here. I didn't get many discoveries, right? I was only worried about not dying in the desert, which seemed like a really good idea at the time, right? Let's just not die. And then I shot across, which was nerve-wracking. Like this coming down here. Oh, is it steep, folks? Like holy hell. You got to be very careful. You're not galloping. And then I came down here and I made it down, and eventually I lost the desert heat because it kept with you for a ways. Like this is not a safe area, but you can get away from it. And then when I was good, I started hitting the points, right? Uh, and I came down. I got a lot of discoveries, and then I followed this down and came home back into the much safer lands, right? So it was a long trip the time I did it, and it was very nerve wracking. I lost some stuff, like the minion I had brought with me died, a horse died. Like it's not safe. It's very ha- you got to get some luck. Like a bear almost ended the whole trip, and there was a lot of dodging back and forth across the river, and like, please don't follow me, please don't follow me, please. Like, yeah, it's a terrible idea, honestly, but I don't know. Part of the fun is pushing to see what you can accomplish that you really probably shouldn't be able to accomplish. I like that kind of stuff, so I try to do it. And yeah, sometimes I pull it off. And that feels very rewarding when I do stuff way earlier than I should probably be able. So that's kind of a loose plan. I don't know when I'm going to get to that, but yeah. All right. Regardless, we have passed an hour. Sorry, I ramble. We know this. I'm going to log out. Thank you all for stopping by. I appreciate it. There's your little update. The stream for the day. I may be back with something. Um, but I will see y'all later.